in the heart of the Texas Hill Country, and you're listening to Eat, Play, Live with me, Andi P, the show that's chasing dreams and crushing goals. My goal here is to help you live a healthier, happier, more balanced life territory. So, don't be that guy. Really pleasant individuals to be around. If anybody comes to mind, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then, of course, there's the other side of the spectrum. There's lots of ways to love yourself too little, whether it's low self-esteem, a need to always be pleasing others, serving others. If you tend to be the kind of personality that thinks too much is better, right? More, if some is good, more is better. Well, you may have a bit of an addictive personality. So let's take a look at that. What does that mean? Normally, I talk specifically about food at the beginning of the show. Well, definitely, if you have an addictive personality, food can become a really big problem. But as we know, there are lots of things we can get addicted to. So what is an addictive personality? What does that look like? Well, it's a set of traits that just make you more likely to develop some sort of substance use disorder or some kind of ability than behaviors that start out innocently enough can just spiral out of control. So if that's the way you're wired, that's okay. But the awareness can help you keep it from becoming a problem, right? Okay, it's not an actual diagnosable. It helps to know, right? Because then you can help them navigate some of the temptations that are going to be in the road. Another one, okay, first is you're impulsive. Another sign can be you're sensory seeking. Are you the kind of person that seeks out new or intense experiences that it can lead to a healthy sense of adventure, but it might be if you're just really going after that sensory, that feeling, that taste, that I gotta have that. Okay, you can see where that could lead to some addictive personality. Now, on a healthy level, you're more likely to try new foods, maybe go travel because having an admiration for sensory things, adventures. I don't know how to explain that exactly, but that's okay. That's okay. But just know that if you're impulsive and you like those sensations, all right, you may want to think about this. And then here's number 3. If you tend to be secretive about your behaviors for maybe no apparent reason, right? I mean, it's normal to want privacy sometimes, but if you're secretly indulging in behaviors that you feel bad about, it could suggest that you have an addictive personality. So definitely a red flag for things like gambling, shopping, binge eating, drinking. If you're hiding it, you need to ask yourself why. Why are you hiding that? And I know I did that with food. When I was battling my weight, I would totally sneak food. I'd be at work and they'd have birthday cake for somebody and I'd go, we'd all go get a piece. And then later when nobody was looking, I would sneak back over there and get another one. That sneaky feeling like, oh, I don't want anybody to see this should have been a huge red flag that I didn't need no cake. Yeah. So, pay attention to what you're doing because you're giving yourself away. Now, what if you're a rebel and you don't care what other people think? I don't know anybody like that. People who march to the beat of their own drums. Yeah, often natural leaders, natural artists. But if you struggle to follow rules, like someone we know here, even rules that you set for yourself, it may be harder to keep healthy boundaries around addictive behaviors and substances, right? If you're the kind of person that's like, oh, you don't tell me. Yeah, that can get you into trouble. And especially if you're around those kind of temptations. Then people who are obsessive. This I thought was kind of interesting. So if you obsess over things and have difficulty distracting yourself, you may have more difficulty breaking unhealthy habits. kind of makes sense, right? So that's what makes this an addictive personality trait. In fact, some experts say that as many as 40% of people who are diagnosed with OCD also struggle with substance abuse. So it really does tend to go hand in hand in a lot of people. Next, if you have a history of anxiety or depression, or you have low self-esteem, all of those things can set you up to have more of an addictive personality because, you're feeling bad about yourself. You may feel driven to do things that make yourself feel better, and those things might not be healthy and might not be easy to quit. If you are a reward-driven person, high risk, high reward, right? Go faster, do more. We got to have more of that. Well, you may be a natural entrepreneur. That can be a good way to take that particular personality trait, but it also might mean you have an addictive personality. So again, there are lots of super successful people who have addictive personalities, and it doesn't mean they're addicted to anything in particular. It's just to be aware that you could fall down that rabbit hole. So staying aware is our goal here tonight. If you have ADHD, which I know tons of us do, oh my goodness, whether it was diagnosed or not, if you have ADHD, you are 2 to 4 times more likely to develop an addiction. The link between substance use disorder and ADHD is continuing to be studied, but there is a definitive link, and they think maybe that brain differences that affect impulse control and the reward systems likely play a role in why those are so frequently connected. Then, if you have a family history of addiction, it's in the genes, man. That is a real thing. So if you have a family history of addiction, that is a significant risk factor. So both genetics and environment will contribute to that. So if it's something you grew up around, it's both in the genes and it's learned. And that's a really hard thing to overcome, but it absolutely can be done. Absolutely can be done. So don't think, even if you checked the box to every single one of these, none of that dictates the outcome for your life. You are in control. You have the power to make your own decisions. We just want to know what we're up against, right? Know what we got to arm ourselves and really watch out for. So anything, if you're wondering, okay, so we talked about food, of course, alcohol. What else? What else can be something that we can get addicted to? Well, basically anything that alters your mood. Okay, so think about that. What about social media? People definitely get addicted to social media because it can alter your mood. It can make you feel better based on what you're looking at. It can make you feel worse based on what you're looking at. And then when you start to feel worse, you keep looking to find something else to make you feel better, right? So you see where that's going. Smartphones. Well, those go hand in hand. A lot of times, if you're surfing social media, you're on your smartphone, but there are other things on your phones, games, just the need to respond immediately and have that instant link to the entire world. It can be addictive. Think about how you feel. I had a friend just today tell me that he lost his phone and has felt like he was just on another planet for the last 24 hours because, all the things are no longer accessible. You don't know how to get a hold of anyone. We don't remember anyone's phone numbers anymore. We're addicted to those puppies. Caffeine, of course, we know, especially us coffee drinkers, know how we feel about our caffeine. Sugar, and chocolate. Okay, a lot of people talk about chocolate like it's sexy to be addicted to chocolate, right? We love chocolate. Give them chocolates. But sugar is the deal here. Sugar is more addictive than heroin. When you put it in your body wants more. And if you really want to experience this and you think I'm full of baloney here, or full of sugar, try cutting yourself off sugar completely cut it out for I don't know, as long as you can, a week, 2 weeks, a month, and then go get yourself a cookie and see what happens. You will. Try this, because I believe it. This has happened to me. When I cut sugar out completely, I love cookies occasionally, and I would go have one and then want more. Immediately, like you can feel your body immediately crave more. So absolutely, 100%, that is addictive. Shopping. Yes. Walk into a store, you feel get kind of excited. Yeah, that's the addiction kicking in. Gambling, same kind of thing can happen. Plastic surgery. People get addicted to that. You've probably seen some because they start looking freaky. They have an idea of what it's going to look like, right? I'm going to get this done. I'm going to maybe just fix this little thing on my eye or, whatever it is. Well, then after, it's not exactly. Maybe, or okay, that looks good. Oh, but now this thing on my nose, I don't like that either. All right, well, let's fix that. Okay, well, that's not really fixing the problem. Maybe if you see where I'm going with this, and it becomes an actual addiction. And we've seen people. Dolly Parton is a good example because she will poke fun at herself because she's had a lot of work done, and it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. There's stuff going on there that you're like, that is not natural. So be careful. Be careful going down that road. Tanning. People get addicted to tanning. The endorphins, I think it's the endorphins that are released, whether you're in a tanning bed or outside. People are like, skin cancer be darned, I don't care. I would rather go out there and just enjoy the way it makes me feel. Sex, people get addicted to that, and it can be healthy if you're, let's not go there. This is the radio, but you know what I'm saying. It can be healthy or very, very unhealthy. And exercise, people get addicted to exercise, which I know most of you are thinking, that's not going to be me. Thank you. Never going to happen. Well, I thought that. I hated exercise. When I first joined Weight Watchers, that was one of the caveats was I'm not going to exercise. I'll do what they say about the food, but I am not going to exercise. And now, yeah, I might be addicted. I might. That's the first thing I think about when I get up is what am I going to do? Well, how am I going to work out today? If I haven't already pre-planned it. So absolutely it can happen. But if you are someone who says, no, I will never be addicted to exercise, I don't even want to do it at all. Well, in that case, let's look at some ways to motivate yourself to do it anyway, right? So we've talked about addictive personality, how we might be more likely to overindulge in things. Now, when you're underindulging and not doing enough of something that your body desperately needs, how do we trick ourselves into doing some exercise? Well, there's some fun ideas. Have you tried VR? Virtual reality fitness is a thing. Yes, it really is a thing. So these VR headsets that you can buy can turn gaming into exercise. They call it exergaming. Yeah, that makes sense. So whether you want to box or dance or sweat through some kind of high intensity interval training, you totally can do that. Or you can play. They have sword fighting. They have Beat Saber. That's one of my favorites. And you're ducking and you're swinging and you're dodging. I promise you, your heart rate definitely goes up. So if you're not into traditional exercise, try some exergaming. You know what? It's worth a shot. Then, apps. There is an app for everything. We know that, right? There's an app for that. Of course there is. So you want to train for a 5K? There's an app that actually has zombies that will, I guess, chase you to help you train to get ready to do a 5K. There's apps for cycling, yoga, anything in between. Anything you can imagine. And the thing is, it's almost like you've got a trainer there. So it's very helpful. You don't have to come up with a plan. They'll walk you through every step and tell you what to do. And you can keep track on your phone. And it just helps keep you going. Studies show that people who use fitness apps are more likely to do something active during their downtime than people that aren't. You just don't think about it unless it's right there on that smartphone that you may be addicted to. Then if you need to take it a step further, there are virtual personal trainers. Okay, so a virtual trainer can set up workouts for you. I've worked with a virtual trainer and actually did that all the way to competing in a bodybuilding competition. We did the entire thing remotely. I only met her in person once. So yeah, it totally can work. You send picture thing for a minute, 1 minute, do that, and then do that at least 3 times a day with 1 to 4 hours in between your snacks. You're just getting a tiny little snack of exercise. I like the way that sounds. That sounds like, makes it sound fun, right? Then a fitness tracker. Well, if you have a fitness tracker, that's just going to help you, whether it's a Fitbit, a Garmin, a whatever brand you like, wear that. And even just an old school pedometer. I mean, those are like $5, and you just clip it on your belt. That's actually, I've totally forgot. I started with one of those in Weight Watchers when I realized, yeah, got to move more. It just helps you keep track. It gives you a goal. I want to get this many steps today. I want to get more than I got yesterday. But now, oh man, so you can start with something simple like that, or you can get the fancy schmancy, track your steps, your sleep, your breath, I've had my Fitbit tell me that I needed to take a relaxation moment. I don't know how it did that. It was a little creepy, but okay, if it says so, I guess so. Another way to kind of trick yourself into getting more exercise, not too much, not too little, just right. Well, adopt a dog. Yeah, get you a high energy dog and you will walk more than if you didn't have one or if you had a lazy dog. Yeah, get yourself a nice little dog. And that goes for both kids and adults. You move more when you have an active pet. How about going on vacation? If you're the kind that thinks vacation means you just sit on the beach, well, that's not going to help you. Go on an active vacation. Okay, you can burn calories while you travel. If you hike, if you ski, if you like to go whitewater rafting, whatever it is you think is fun. If you just want to chill on the beach, walk on the beach. Walking on sand, really good for your legs. Yeah. So think about where you can go. Where are there green spaces where you can get outdoors and just get some movement in? You can stream workout videos, of course. We all have YouTube. You can stream it or any other kind of streaming service. Then take the stairs. Anytime you can skip the elevator, skip it. Take the stairs. So what if I actually was just in a building that was where I was going was on the 14th floor and I took the stairs every time. And I will tell you, my calves are super sore. Yeah. I was like, at first I was like, what did I do? Well, I don't normally take the stairs. There's not a whole lot of stairs to take around here, right? So if you happen to be visiting the city and in a building, take the stairs. Okay. And as you get older, the more you take the stairs, that gives you strength and balance and helps prevent falls, which is a win-win. Then, okay, one more. Cold weather. I know it's hard to even imagine cold weather right now, but it will come again. And now is the time to start planning whatever you're going to do this winter, right? If you're going to go on some sort of a vacation, well, let's plan it now. Plus, it'll give you a nice, cool thing to think about. But strap on some snowshoes. How about skis? Like whatever kind of workout exercise you can do during the winter. Studies have shown that winter workouts burn more of what they call brown fat, which is the type of fat that's linked to obesity and type 2 diabetes. So something about exercising in the cold. And if you're not skiing anymore, you're not doing some of that stuff that's a lot, just still go somewhere cold. And if you walk out there in the cold. Anyway, okay. With exercise, I know I get wound up. I'm sorry. Let me just take a breath here. as with anything, the key is just finding balance, okay? Not too much, not too little. When you find something that you enjoy, it's so much easier to add it into your life. Yeah. So what does that do for you? You've added this into your life. You're trying to find balance in life. Well, it brings a sense of fulfillment and meaning when you're balanced. So just quickly, a couple of strategies to help you gain balance, gain perspective in your life. Define what matters to you. When you know what really matters to you and you work toward that and you prioritize that, you are going to feel more balanced. You've got to prioritize and protect your time. Don't let people steal that from you. Minimize unnecessary activities and unnecessary relationships. Let them go. You need to prioritize time because you're not getting it back. And you'll feel a lot more balanced when you do. Be willing to compromise. I'm not saying you can't have it all, but sometimes you just can't have it all right now. So compromise. Okay, for right now, I'm going to have this. And I'm going to keep working toward that. Learn to ask for assistance when necessary. None of us is equipped to do everything on our own by ourselves. Ask for help. Don't be ashamed of that. You'll have more balance. Practice delegating non-critical tasks. If this isn't something you have to do, maybe somebody else could do that. Practice that. Practice it with the little things. Delegate to your kids. Delegate to your friends, whatever, your coworkers, people who work for you. Delegate. Don't try to do it all yourself, and you'll be more balanced. Schedule fun. Yes, we talked about that last week. If you missed that, go to my Facebook, eatplaylive.andy. We talked about playing and the importance of playtime in our lives. Well, schedule it and schedule relationship building. So get a hobby, basically. Get a hobby that's something you enjoy and that other people that you want to be around enjoy as well. And there you go, win-win. Learn to be optimistic, okay? Don't think the glass is half empty. Be optimistic. The sun is going to come out tomorrow. It's going to get better tomorrow. You are going to make it through this. Be optimistic and then relax and let it go, baby. Let it go. Take care of your physical, your mental, and your spiritual health. All three are important. I talk a lot about the physical on this show. I try to talk a lot about the mental. I don't talk as much about the spiritual, and I'll make a note to add more of that in because it's so important. In fact, if you're not working on all three of those areas in your life, then I think of it as a three-legged stool. And if one of those legs is short, your stool's going to fall over. You're not going to be balanced. So work on keeping all three of those strong so that you will be in a good place and be balanced. So I hope this has helped you this week to do not too much and not too little. I'm Andi P, reminding you that loving ourselves in the midst of our imperfect lives is possible. It is actually possible to do that. But what you got to do? Balance. That is key. So until next week, eat, play, and live. Not too big, not too little, but just right.